All right, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something really special. We're taking the incredible wisdom from the Almanack of Naval Ravikant, specifically the practice edition, and boiling it down into a super practical guide for, just living a better life in this crazy modern world.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the big question, one that kind of sets the stage for everything else. Seriously, take a second and think about this. All the stuff we chase, right? The money, the promotions, the likes on social media, are those the things we actually need to feel complete? So, step one, this is all about a total shift in perspective, a new way of even thinking about what happiness is. We're all kind of programmed from day one with this flawed belief. I'll be happy when I get the job, when I buy the house. But what if that's totally backward? The deeper truth here is that happiness isn't about getting something. It's about the disappearance of that nagging feeling that something's missing. It's the moment the internal craving just goes away. It's not about adding more, it's about wanting less. Huge difference, right? And this leads to a super powerful little mantra you can use. Go ahead, think of something you really want right now. Got it? Okay, now, just say this to yourself. Without it, I am still whole. See how that feels? This isn't about being passive or giving up on your goals, not at all. It's about separating your sense of self-worth from whether or not you get that thing. Okay, so once we stop looking for happiness out there, the focus turns inward. This next part is all about building that solid inner foundation. This one sounds like a cliche, I know, but it's so important. Think about it. A huge chunk of our stress and anxiety comes from this voice in our head that says, I shouldn't be here. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. We fight against our current reality because we're so obsessed with getting to some future destination. We completely forget that the journey is our life. This moment is it. So here's a little tool for you, a quick check-in for whenever you feel that anxiety creeping in. Just stop and ask yourself this one simple question. Am I waiting for some future event to let myself be happy? Are you caught in that I'll be happy when trap? Just asking the question can be enough to pull you right back to the here and now. And this leads right into the next piece of that foundation, self-esteem. We get this one so wrong. We think it comes from what other people think of us, their approval, their likes, the flawed belief. But the deeper truth, real self-esteem is just the reputation you have with yourself. It's about whether you trust you. That's it. It's an inside job. Okay, I love this concept of true understanding. This isn't about willpower or forcing yourself to do things. It's about having those aha moments, those realizations that are so deep they just change you. Like, once you truly get on a deep level that eating a bunch of junk food makes you feel sluggish and awful, you don't have to fight the craving anymore. You just don't want it. It's about seeking those insights that make good habits effortless. All right, so with that inner work done, let's look at how it actually changes what we do in the world. This is where authenticity comes in. Get this. If you're constantly competing with people, it's probably because you're copying them. It's that simple. Competition comes from imitation. But freedom? Well, freedom comes from being your authentic self. The goal isn't to win the game everyone else is playing. It's to create your own game, one that only you can win. So you're probably asking, okay, great, but how do I find that path? Well, here's a super practical exercise for you. Seriously, pause and think about these 3 questions. 1. What feels like play to you but looks like work to other people? 2. What are you doing when you just feel completely natural, totally in your element? And 3. What would you do even if you never got paid a dime for it? The answer, your unique path, is somewhere in the middle of those 3 things. This is such a key distinction to understand, the kind of game you're playing in life. On one hand, you have status games. These are zero-sum. Think of it like a pie. For me to get a bigger slice, you have to get a smaller one. It's all about ranking, comparing, and being better than someone else. But then you have wealth games. These are positive sum. This is about baking more pies. You create value, you solve a problem, and everybody can win. The goal is to escape the status games and focus on creating real value. So once you're on that authentic path, playing those positive sum games, the next challenge is protecting your peace and your freedom. Now, this is a really high standard, but it's an incredibly powerful filter for making decisions. If this is not something I want to be doing for the rest of my life, then I won't do it. Wow. It just forces you to think long term. Basically, your default answer to almost everything should be no. That's how you save your yes for the things that are an absolute hell yeah. Here's another big misconception we all fall for. We think we need to manage our time better, but the deeper truth? Time isn't the real currency. Attention is. Think about it. 1 hour of deep, focused work where you're fully present is worth way more than a whole afternoon of being distracted. So stop worrying so much about your calendar and start fiercely protecting your attention. And this one is so freeing. I don't need to be consistent. I need to be truthful. In a world obsessed with personal brands and looking consistent, we get trapped. We're afraid to change our minds because we don't want to look flaky. But learning is changing your mind. The goal isn't to be consistent with who you were a year ago. The goal is to be honest about what you believe right now.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. The final section is about becoming what you might call a modern cultivator, using simple rules to live well.
These are 3 amazing little rules of thumb for those huge life decisions: your job, your relationships, where you live. Rule number 1, if you can't decide, the answer is no. If it's not a clear yes, it's a no. Simple. Rule 2, if you have 2 choices that seem about equal, pick the one that's harder in the short term. That's usually the one with the bigger payoff. And rule 3, maybe the most important, always choose the path that leads to more long-term peace of mind. That's your ultimate compass. So after all of that, all these ideas and principles, it can actually be boiled down to just one single sentence.
And here it is. This is the whole thing in a nutshell, a modern sutra. Reduce desire, be present, be authentic, create value, protect attention, earn self-respect, and walk through life with freedom and peace. I mean, wow, it's like a complete recipe for a good life right there. Each part builds on the next. But look, at the end of the day, this isn't just interesting information to listen to and forget. It's called a practice edition for a reason. So the only real question left is, after hearing all this, which part are you going to start with? Where will your practice begin?